The White House here in the United States is currently going through one of its largest renovations in recent history. Now, of course, there's been many renovations over the course of the White House's history, right? All the way back to the 1800s when it was burnt down, the early 1900s where the entire West Wing was built up, under Theodore Roosevelt. And then I think in the 1950s, there were some structural renovations that were done just because it was old, right? But the thing that separates all of those renovations compared to the one that's occurring right now with this golden ballroom, right? Trump's golden ballroom that Noah will probably never get to go party into, Noah will never get to visit, is that the funding did not come in the same way that all of the other renovations came from. Previous renovations were approved, congressionally approved, and the funding, of course, is tax dollars, right? Like many of the other things here in the United States, it almost makes normal people feel like they have some skin in the game when it comes to when these renovations are being done on the White House. For me, the White House acts kind of more as a symbol, and this is something that, like I said, I think should be shared amongst everybody. Now, what's interesting about this specific renovation is that it is largely, apparently, being supported by President Trump himself. There are apparently other individuals, families, companies, whatever, that are putting in some money for these renovations as well, but I don't believe we have an entire list of everybody that's put money into this, which for me is a little bit weird because ground is clearly already broken on the project. I think they're supposed to finish the demolition by this weekend and then start building. But we don't even know, it hasn't even been released as to who in its entirety is supporting this endeavor. That's a little bit strange for me. The other thing that I find a little bit uneasy or unsettling, I should say, is that, like I said, because the White House is more, in my opinion, supposed to be a symbol of the people in the United States, it feels weird to have renovations to this scale, right? 250, 230 million, done by individuals, families, people that just have a lot of money. I think this kind of creates a sort of precarious situation where certain people, certain families, certain individuals get special treatment for certain things. They're looked at a little bit higher because they put money into the White House, and I just don't think it's a good idea. I think this whole renovation, this new building situation is a perfect example of what a COI is, right? A conflict of interest. I don't think it's right for normal people to be able to say that they have a certain amount of stake in something like the White House, and I wouldn't be surprised if this led to issues down the road.